having realized that existence is not reality. Because reality is the mental image of existence that we acquire and develop. I could finally start making sense of the world. But why did it take me so much time and effort to realize something as important as that? Why is the difference between existence and reality not one of the first things taught in school or by our parents? The degree of importance that something has or should have varies depending on whether it actually exists, or if it is merely a figment of our imagined reality. Not to say that reality is not important, far from it. Reality is so prevalent and so easy to confuse for existential fact that if our emotions are not regulated by a perpetual assessment of consequences, we can and do fall into stress and even despair because of something that feels existential but is merely real. We are literally suffering from schizophrenia. We are failing to distinguish between our imagination, reality, and what is actually there. Existence. I believe that we can do better than we are doing as humanity. I believe that most sorrow in the world can be done away with if we manage to stay grounded in existence when developing our realities. Cosmic humanism is my proposal to achieve behavioral alignment with universal law and cure our collective schizophrenia. As you were growing up, did you always understand why the adults punished you? Or did you develop the idea that doing something is unacceptable, even if there didn't seem to be anything wrong with someone else doing the same thing in a different setting? I remember not always understanding why I was punished. I had to understand the desired behavior I had to display, but I never really understood why one thing was desirable and others weren't if I wasn't hurting anyone. People may have expectations of you, but you don't owe them fulfilling those expectations. I have learned to be comfortable disappointing people. I think it's a necessary skill to engage with the world authentically. I believe that truth exists. In fact, it bothers me when people try to argue that there is no single truth. That is a lie that perpetuates moral relativism and gives people an excuse to do bad things and get away with it. I believe that with enough desire for the truth and the application of work to acquire it, the truth can be known. The truth is the instance of reality accurately describing existence. I believe that observing existence and rationally deriving principles, we can find a universal law that if we follow, we will be rewarded with a harmonious existence. I believe that the more consistently with universal law we behave, as individuals, families, and societies, the better the experience of the human condition. I believe that throughout human history there have been people invested in finding universal law and implementing it into the legal, cultural, and philosophical frameworks for societies out of love for humanity and belief in a better future for our descendants. It is evident in the existence of the idea of natural law. I believe that it is my duty to follow in the footsteps of our loving ancestors and do my best to build a platform for developing consistency between life and universal law, or in other words, help cure us from our collective schizophrenia. Thanks for watching.